Gentlemen,
Hola.
What is up, guys?
Hello.
How are y'all doing, man?
Really
We're
good.
doing.
Yeah, great to be here.
Nice. Thank you for waiting patiently for us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no problem. Enjoying the show.
Good
Awesome.
to hear.
Awesome.
Good to hear. Did y'all pick up anything from that from across the pond that was helpful?
That
Yes.
dude is literally in my head when it comes to songwriting. I was like, oh my gosh, I was gonna say that stuff.
I took notes.
Yeah. Yes. Good.
Awesome.
That's what I always hope, man. I'm like, I know a lot of musicians and artists watch the show, and I hope that they're getting like either affirmation, like, yeah, that's what I thought, or hey, I never thought about that. Good, and let's implement that into our
And
band.
that's why we like, this podcast is different. A lot of podcasts will just have like bands on and stuff, but we like to bring on other people in the industry.
Mhm.
Like we had Chris Dawson back along. We just had Oz Craigs on. I'm trying to work out bringing Emma from Plugin Baby on, who is a radio promoter. So, it gives those up and coming bands just a little bit of insight of what other
It seems
people
like
in
a
the
good way
industry
to
are looking
connect
for,
too, with having bands on the show and then other industry professionals.
Exactly.
It seems like a good way to connect people.
Correct.
So
Look, tell us about you guys. We were talking earlier, right out of the gate at the beginning of the show. Correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all are from Tampa, is that right?
That's correct. We're from
Okay.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
You got it right.
Damn.
Didn't fuck up.
As a Saints fan, that hurts a little bit, but we're gonna move past that.
It's okay. I mean, I'll be totally real with you. I'm not a football fan, but Lightning is winning right now, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. There you
We're
go.
spanking
Wow.
the Canadians right now, so let's go Lightning.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
What, gentlemen, tell the audience, people that are watching, listening, and on the replay and stuff, tell us about Ocean's End, how you got started. Yeah, that's always the best place to start. Is like, how did you guys get together? How'd you get started?
Wow. You can take this one, Will.
Okay. All right. So I played in the bands for a long time, but I was getting really bummed about not writing my own music, and I was like trying to find an outlet to do that again. And out of the blue, one day this band hits me up and they're like, "Hey man, do you know any singers?" And I'm like, "All right, are you playing a game with me or what?" Like, "Oh, well, okay, do you want to sing?" Okay, there it is. All right. So I found this band and it was like, "Hey, write some songs." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And I didn't really kind of know exactly what I wanted to do at first, except that I wanted to kind of speak and sing about some topics that had really been bothering me for a little bit, about Oz mentioned personality, and it just some things that had gone on in my life that I was like, I feel like there's probably other people that have been through this and that can relate to it. And James actually helped me figure out the best way to really kind of craft this. But, we started kind of tailoring the songs around this idea of the voice of the voiceless. This concept of, there's a bunch of people in the world who feel like they can't speak up. They don't know how, they don't have a person to, or they're afraid of something happening to them if they do. And so I was like, well, hey, you know what? Like, if I say it, then at least someone knows that they're not alone in that matter. But B, like, for all the times that you felt like you couldn't do that, like, I'll say it for you. So, they can come after me and I'll be the verbal punching bag. But at least, people out there who are going through this kind of stuff know, hey, there's someone else that gets it. So that's kind of like where I've been aiming my rifle of lyrics at, is that
And I love it.
that idea of, hey, you know what? There's some really harsh, almost like borderline taboo kind of stuff out there, and people don't know how to have a conversation about it in a positive and kind of healthy way. And sometimes that healthy way is anger, whatever. But that's what I'm about, and that's what I try to write my lyrics about, is like I said, being that voice for the people that can't.
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's, for me, music is one of the best releases of emotions, mental health, whether you're playing it, writing it, listening to it. I've got certain bands. If I'm having a bad day,
Yeah.
certain bands I go to, I'm like, I need to listen to some of that just to let that feels out. And when you're writing, what you feel and stuff like that, that's amazing.
And the thing is I was gonna say for a long time, I wore a uniform for work, and so when you do that, your ability to have a public persona goes away. You know what I mean? Like you cannot break that chain of command. You cannot talk bad about experiences or even about good experiences, right? There's confidentiality, there's all sorts of stuff. So, for a while it was like I felt like I had, that gag over me, physically, but also, in that mentally, in that emotional kind of way. And I obviously I could not stand how that felt. And then I was like, well, I'm sure I am not the only person who's ever felt like they had that piece of duct tape over their mouth when all they want to do is scream,
Yeah, definitely.
How would you describe your music? Like what's the vibe? I hate to say genre because that's like such a whatever, but it does help people kind of, understand what you're talking about here. But
I'm gonna turf that one to James.
It is heavy rock. Really is. We take from a lot of the genres of modern heavy rock. It could fall into hardcore. It could fall into punk. It could fall into metal. It could fall into what they call new metal, which I don't really like that name, but we seem to fit that sometimes. It's kind of, we call it whatever chord. So we take from whatever we feel, we put it together into Ocean's End.
You're basically writing what you want.
Yeah.
And you're not restricting yourself to one subgenre.
That's the thing. I can't stand labels because me as a listener, I listen to so much stuff, and I know people say that, but like I will go in like a single day from like bluegrass and like indie pop to like Alpha Wolf to to like blues, then over to like Sublime. So I'm all over the place, and I'm like, well, that just comes out naturally in my playing, and so does it for James and for Tyler, our drummer. So after a while, I was just like, enough. When people are like, oh, what do I categorize you as? I'm like, you just call it heavy, fam.
Yeah.
Like literally just call it heavy, because we played shows with crust punk, we played shows with deathcore, and I've played shows with shoegaze. So like, to me, it doesn't matter. I'm just like, it's heavy, and if you like any sort of alt music, there's something in there that you'll like, guaranteed.
I like, I don't know if you heard us talk earlier though, like to me, the easiest way to tell somebody who truly loves music is ask them who their favorite band is, and if they answer it super quick, like I said, there might be somebody who's just a diehard Kiss fan or Zeppelin fan or Rush fan or something.
Yeah.
99% of true music fans are going to be like, so-and-so, but they might be my top 5 or they might be top 5 in this category. Yeah. Same with you. Like, what's your favorite music to listen to? Well, if you ask me that, I'm like, how much time you got? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
or what day is it? What day is it? What hour is it? I have an entire metal song from Memphis Mayfire tattooed on my back. It's not even one of my top 5 bands. It's just at the time I was like, oh my God, this is a song. And it still resonates with me. But if someone was like, hey, what's your favorite band? I wouldn't say Memphis Mayfire. I'd probably say like, God,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, like,
I was gonna give you an answer. I was so close with it.
Can't do it. Yeah. I mean, even for me, like going from the heavy rock, hard rock to metal, then all the way over to like Motown music. You know what I mean? Or like
my mom raised me on Motown.
See, me too. And that's what I think of as my grandma and my family and like times from the past. And it's like, that's a different emotion that I want to feel versus if you're at the gym or like Matt, like you said, you're mad about something or you're happy about something. Like they all have these colors or flavors that music can be. So,
right. I mean, we literally have a song that we're working on currently. And the topic of it is the fact that I was hungry.
There you go. How much music?
It sounds like nothing like you, like if you just listen to a song, you'd be like, oh yeah, it's just a fast, angry punk song. But if like you break down the lyrics, it's like, this motherfucker just wants a pizza.
So how much music do you guys have out right now? And you said punk. Is punk the heaviest vibe, or do you kind of jump in and out of that?
Yeah, we have all punk is what I turn to when I need to lighten it up. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Let's see. So right now we have one that's streaming. We had some other ones, but they were kind of starting to get a little bit more fringe compared to our core sound. So we took those down. We have Try Not to Die, which is our current single up right now. Easy Core. It's a lot of fun. And it's a really solid message. It's about my first time having a panic attack and how to manage getting through a panic attack, honestly.
Wow.
Okay.
So it's funny because like out in the song, like I talk about like count to 10, you know what I mean? Like it's that kind of feeling. But we do have an album coming out in February. That's going to be 5. Well, I say album, it's an EP. But in this day and age with singles and all that, it counts as an album. So,
Correct.
but we do have 5 songs on that, which will be a lot of fun. It's called So Tell Me About Yourself. For obvious reasons, it's very much like an exposition about what it's like inside my weird head. And then after that, we have a couple more singles that we are actively in the middle of planning out and recording, which will kind of drop throughout the rest of the year. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to cut a live album, which will be a lot of fun. And then we'll go back and do another full-on EP in the beginning of next year.
Well, I want to show, if I can, without screwing this up with the button clicks here. The first thing that I saw from you guys, scroll through my news feed, it's the and I'm sure you know what it is here. It's just you shared it on December the 16th. IDGAF. Can we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
go for it.
That's the first thing I saw from you guys. And like I'm going,
and that's what we want. I want you to see like that weird, goofy stuff that we do.
That's all it was. And I like I'm scrolling, and then it like pops with the volume hit. You know, and I kind of go and I hear it and I went, whoa, and I pulled it back down. And I went, okay. Like, so I'm gonna see if I can screen share that real quick with everybody.
Go for it. That was a lot of fun to make. That is a song we're working on. That's gonna be we're gonna put that with the live album. So that if you like that one, the studio version of that will come out at the end of at the end of 2023.
Is that gonna be the name?
Yeah, it's gonna be called IDGAF live at Ollie's, which is one of our favorite places to play at down in Cape Coral. So we're going to record it there.
All right,
with a bunch of people in the room. So.
I love it.
Let's see if it shares.
I already love the song.
All right, y'all ready? I don't know. Let's see here. We'll
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, here we go.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my song. One of my biggest personality traits is I do not give a fuck.
Oh yeah, and I mean that is, it's that one. It's kind of a little dive into the whole like for a long time. Okay, so let's preface this. Since we're getting into those deep personality conversations, I'm biracial, and it sucked in the early 2000s being anybody that looked like me and wanted to play in a metal band, because aside from like Oceano or Killswitch Engage, the idea of like a black dude fronting or Sevendust, the idea, or Skindred, so I guess like four big ones, right? But aside from those 4 big dudes, like if you were brown and wanted to sing in a metalcore band, they just told you to get fucked. Like I literally remember like Victory laughing at my band because of how I looked, and I was like, what? But nowadays it's like, you know, it's much more inclusive, and of course I'm happy about that. But I just remember like being told like, look like this, dress like that, sing like this, and I'm like, dude, there's no way that I'm changing any of me, like just to be you. So that's what that's kind of about, like just kind of my reminiscing of that whole time period.
That's what I've always loved about music, though, at least in my mind, is that I felt like and you have a different experience, which is totally, you know, your experience. But like I looked at Sevendust and Killswitch Engage, you know, and I thought, it doesn't fucking matter. Like these guys are just good at music.
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, 3 heads popping off your shoulders, and if you sound like that, then great. But I've read stories where like even like Seven Dust, you know, they had hecklers in the crowd who were saying racist shit. You know, that obviously, you know, that like get the fuck out of here, then, dude. Like you're not. You're stuck as a human. This is not what it's about.
But it was a whole process I had to go through because honestly, like it broke me down. But then I had to like go and relearn that confidence again of like, yeah, believe in the music you want to make, the art you want to put out, and who you are as a person. So like, honestly, it was like going through the whole like Sharps punk kind of scene of like, you know, like punch a Nazi in the face kind of thing. Like it took me like kind of like hanging out in that crowd and to like almost like feel confident about myself again. And then once I did, like I took off running like a freight train because I was like, I'm me and there's no shutting me up now. So
I just thought of Bad Brains and Living Color as well.
Yes, Living Color. I binged it from like age 12 to like 15.
Yeah, and they were the shit too. So
yes,
yeah, and everybody has their own experience, man. So that's great, and kudos to you for not for you know going and finding your strength and your confidence, and then flipping the finger and then making music, man. Because
I was going to say one thing I've got to say to society about that is,
yeah, exactly.
You know,
and that's where I'm at with it. You know, it's like I sound how I want to sound because it's what I like. You know, I write the music that I want to listen to, because if I'm going to play this thing 10,000 times, I better like it. Right. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, it's just whatever sounds like me and sounds like my buddies, you know, like I never am trying to like fit myself into a certain thing. It's like, it's silly. You know, there's so much fakeness and there's so much like cookie cutter shit out there that it's so much easier to just be yourself. Like why waste all that energy trying to be someone else?
What I liked about that clip was, and what really caught my ear is because it's just straight garage, like, and you're literally in a garage. Mm-hmm. And I know you said y'all are going to record it, right? You're going to have it.
Oh yeah. That's just juvenile outfit practice,
right? But what I liked about it was, I was like, this is raw. This is them. This is their writing. You know, in my mind, it's like y'all are actively writing the song, and you put it out there, and that's great. We were talking about that earlier with Oz, though. It's like nowadays with where technology is at, like the not so great side of it is that everything does sound completely produced, or I should say completely on time. It's like then it starts to sound not real,
right?
There's no breath inside of the music.
On the EP that we're putting out, that was a big thing that James and I, when we were working on it, we made it a point to tell the producer, we're like, you know, I want this to feel just very like real, like organic, you know what I mean? Like I wanted to feel like we just went to a small club and there's us playing and you're in the room with us. Like I don't necessarily need like 10,000 guitar parts or, you know, tracks or even like the layered vocals, right? Like it's just a power trio of us.
Yep. And I think we're taking on the road too, that sort of credo of like the garage mentality. Like we want to take that with us and have that raw sort of connection.
Yeah, because it's so easy. Like I get it. You know, I get that. Like for example, I got no problem with tracks. I think tracks are fantastic because I'm a studio musician and I love the click. I live for the click. But at the same time though, like I knew that like it didn't have that same visceralness if I did all that stuff. And so it sounds empty at times, but it's almost like, yeah, but if we saw it live, it should feel that way. It should feel like 3 dudes playing cohesively. So we made a conscious effort to really almost like avoid the production. And then the next 2 that we put out, we're kind of doing the same kind of thing, but we're even like taking it a step further because we want it to feel very like late 80s, like almost on tape kind of feel. Mm-hmm. But then when we do the next like actual EP, we're gonna kind of flip flop and go the other direction because I would like to try some of that stuff out. It's not to say that those are bad things. No, it's just I wanted to do a couple more unique kind of tricks up my sleeve first before then we go and do big on production, because trust me, I love big productions. You know, I want a song that has a big string orchestra in it. Like, come on, fam, like make it epic.
Right.
You know,
like Matt said earlier in the show with Matt, I believe you said it was Raptors. You saw them live first, right? Before you knew anything about them, and their live show blew you away. It's like you can get into this realm of overproduction, especially at the early stages. Like if you're like packing out arenas, you have a whole team. You have audio guys and it'll be okay. But when it's just you in a van and you're going to clubs and you got to worry about and I've seen guys post about it, like your laptop fails and that's what shuts the show down. Like I forget the band that made that post. They were talking about it. And I'm not shitting on that. I'm just saying, like, I still at the end of the day, I respect it, like guitar, bass, drums, vocals, and maybe you got a keyboard or whatever the hell else, but everybody's playing an instrument and you can fucking play your shit and you don't have to worry about all this other shit. That to me, there's a place for that as well, is what I'm saying.
I'm pretty basic when it comes to guitar. I won't lie. A lot of the time, if I need a clean sound, I just roll off my volume. I'm kind of old school in that way because I grew up on blues where they just had like guitar into amp and that's it. And so like I've always thought about my signal chain in the same kind of way. Like I've got like cool pedals and stuff, but ultimately it comes down to like the thing that would make me the most happy is a single channel amp and my guitar plugged into it. Like I don't really fuck with effects. I just I literally just
are you an Orange guy? That's Orange's style.
So I'm not. Currently what I'm doing is I have like a Rat style drive that goes into a Klon Centaur style drive, and that's all I do. Just fuzz into overdrive into clean amp. Done. Yeah,
there you go. There's nothing wrong with that. And like I say, there's guys pulling it off with click tracks and backing tracks and stuff that are doing great and make great music. But I do love to see. I love to see the performance of what you're hearing.
It's fun when you go to a show and you see a band back to back where one's doing a click and one's not, and you see the contrast of it. And one has the big production and the other one's just kind of going off the cuff.
Right. And they can equally be as good, right?
You know absolutely. Yeah, we play with both all the time. We play with bands that just do it straight up. Like they're tapping their foot. And then we play with bands that have like the whole big, and both are awesome, just in their own way, you know?
Yep, for sure, for sure. What guys, what is 23 looking like for y'all? Being as it's December the 28th, 22, as we record this, what's the plans for the new year? I know you mentioned an EP. Right. What all do you have in store for 23?
EP and tour.
Yeah, EP and tour. Honestly, we're gonna be super busy. So we're starting off. We're doing a couple days with Emo Nights Karaoke. That's a big event group. So we're gonna play some shows doing that, so people can come up and sing songs after we play a big fun set for them. And then from there, starting in March, we're gonna go out west. So we're going up through the Gulf. We'll come say hi to y'all, and then we'll go to Texas, and then we're going out west to Arizona, New Mexico, Vegas, California. All up and down there. Then in June, we should be going to the Midwest, some shape or form, starting in like Tennessee and then kind of working our way up through the middle. And then at the end of July, we'll be going up the East Coast into Canada with some friends. So that'll be fun. And then fingers crossed, this one's kind of wild because we still are very much a DIY band, but I don't give a fuck. We're trying to go to Europe, so we're trying to go to the UK and the EU for a little bit. We started making some friends. Just kind of like, hey, look, if we wanted to do this, like, what all do we need to do? Like, who should we reach out to? What kind of stuff do we need to make this happen?
Look at this.
So
this dude right here knows he can point you in the right. Yeah. Brady Bunch shit right there. He can point you
I can hook you up with some promoters and stuff over here.
Yeah.
We're
Jimmy, in Texas.
Our good buddy
all
Jimmy
of it.
right there.
All of it, Jimmy. I fully intend to stay many days in Texas because everything's bigger in Texas, including the gas bill. So I might as well make some money, right?
Right.
Let us know where you are in Texas.
So I know for sure I'm gonna try for Houston, Austin, Dallas, and San Antonio. If you got any other ideas, hook it up.
Yeah. Jimmy, where are you at in Texas? I don't remember. He's Austin.
Diane,
yeah.
we're going the
Okay.
entire East Coast. Austin, it's a done deal. I have friends in Austin that we will play with for sure. Austin is guaranteed.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Jimmy.
Go hit the like on the page, Jimmy, if you already haven't done it.
But yeah,
Jimmy's a
East
friend of
Coast,
ours.
I know we're starting, I want to say probably Charleston area. We'll go up through the mid-Atlantic, and then hopefully play a very large festival. If you're up in that region, you know what I'm talking about.
There you go.
And then we'll take a couple days off, and then go to Canada. And Canada, I believe, is like just the eastern half. So I think we stop at like Ontario, and then we turn back around. So
Well, let me ask you this. Then that brings up a question for me. As a band, and most of the bands that we talk to on the show, we label like up and coming, right? Y'all are fighting. Y'all are trying to break through, trying to do the damn thing, right?
yes,
So
definitely.
that sounds like a very ambitious touring plan.
Mhm.
With you don't have to get into the numbers of things, but like, how do you plan, book, and strategize is the word I'll use, that type of tour? That's very ambitious.
It's a hustle. Hit Virginia. Virginia will happen for sure. Definitely aiming for the RVA area. So Maryland, DC is on its way. So
You got the request coming in.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
God, it's
Just
probably
hit
gonna
all, hey, bro, hit
Wait,
the
and-
48 first.
be.
Yeah.
Anne should know better. She should book it. Anne should know. Probably Allentown. Possibly Pittsburgh if we have to route. Let's see. So booking a tour like that. Well, we do have some help now.
Okay.
We are working with Massive Media. They've been really awesome and kind of help guiding us into like trying to do bigger stuff. But for the longest time, honestly, what would happen is because our band is kind of not fitting in a box, a lot of people would not book me and they would not book us. So I was like, fine, I'll just book myself. So I got really good at just sending these cover letters to different emails for venues. And then if they didn't answer, I'd call them. They'd be like, hey, look, I have this band. We play this. We got a little something for everybody, but it is heavy. It is aggressive. If you're into that kind of stuff, like I'll do my hardest to bring people in your door, book me. And they would. It was usually as simple as just asking.
Yeah.
So
I just want people that either, again, up and coming artists, up and coming people who want to be in a band, or people that are listening and watching that are not in the music scene. You got to understand like how difficult that is. Like you're talking about reaching out to, first you got to find the bars, first you got to find the towns, first you got to map it out, the routing as he's talking about. Then you got to reach out to these people, get a response, and ask for some type of, whether it's upfront guarantee or a half a deposit or going out on a prayer that they're going to pay you when you get there. Right. And fund all this shit. Yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
easy.
You know,
So
we
at the
are
end of the day,
fortunate.
buy a t-shirt from these guys.
We are fortunate
Best
that, like,
way.
you know,
Speaking
We're
of
not-
that, we just got a huge bunch of new merch, and it's going up.
oh
for
my gosh,
pre-order.
yes. The merch will
Yeah.
be available if you're interested in us and want to help support. The merch will be live midnight of New Year's Day. So
There you go.
New Year's Eve to the New Year's, the new merch. That's the easiest
New
way to
Year's
say it.
Eve night on New Year's. So
Yeah,
12
we
o'clock
dropped
New
the
Year's
ball and we
Eve.
dropped the merch. There we go.
There you
So-
go. That's an easy way to say it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is hard. You know, there's been a lot of no's. I don't want it to ever sound like, oh, it's easy. He just, you know, no. There's a whole bunch of hell no, and who the hell are you, and go away.
or
and
ghosting, right? That's
yeah, we're ghosting.
Yeah.
But honestly, for as like, let's say probably on average, for every 10 that I hit up, 2 will answer me, and then maybe 1 will say yes. So you know, it's a lot of persistence.
There you go.
But also you kind of have to like, you have to get your life in order, right? Like I'm fortunate that I work teaching music, so they know that like this is just part of the deal with having me employed, that I'm gonna go play music. You know, Tyler, our drummer, he's self-employed as a mechanic, so you know, he kind of hustles extra so that then when we go out, he's got money saved up. And same thing with James. So it's like, you know, if you want to do it, if you want to be an independent band, like you also just have to get life in order, because it's hard. You know, your family may not be down with that. You know, my family is, but not everyone's is. You know, you may have an odd living situation, right? I have friends in bands that are killing it, but I remember them telling me like, dude, I'm bumming it on someone's couch right now for like 2 weeks because we're going to go back out, but I don't have money for rent. I stopped paying rent. so I could put money in the gas. And I'm like, so you have to
Lot of
be willing
decisions.
to, you got to be willing to do those extremes. And it sucks because like everyone's like, well, what's the point? And well, the point is like, then when you're killing it on your dream and it all makes sense, then you're going to look back on, man, that was tough, but it was only tough for this much time. And now I'm here. So.
Well, you nailed it with that too, and keep your overhead low.
Always, man.
But
we draw a lot of our own art. You know, like I try very hard to like DIY a lot of stuff, but it is as you scale up that becomes more of a challenge. And like for example, like we were gonna screen our own shirts, and then we turned around and ordered 800 shirts, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I don't care how good I am at screening something. I'm not making 800 shirts.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. But like you said though too, and I'll make this point as someone who we did the thing around our little local area. We didn't go nowhere near as far as like what you're talking about, but like I'll say this: enjoy the experience, whether it ends up with a lifetime career or not, or whether you get I don't even want to say record deal because to me that's like 1980s, 90s. Right? That ain't how that shit works, dude. Like whether you end up with 1 million, 2 million Spotify listeners or whatever or not, enjoy the experience, enjoy the time with your friends and the people that you meet along the way and the art that you create, because when you do that, you can't lose.
Right. And at the end of the day, that's where I'm at with it. I'm just like, I'm at a point in my life where almost my art pays for itself. And considering that like my whole life I've been an artist in some way, shape, or form, that to me is like, hey, that's all I could ask for is the ability to do my art on my own terms.
And
keep enjoying what you do and keep writing the music you want to.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like the late Bill Hicks said, it's just a ride. So,
it is just a ride.
Dude, you just hit me with a Bill Hicks quote. He is one of my top 5 comedians of all time. So you nailed it, dude.
So many times in my life, I'll turn to Bill Hicks. Just
if you don't know Bill Hicks, go look him up. He was a damn genius who was taken way too soon. But you're right, it is just a ride, and some people forget that it's a ride, and they enjoy the ride too much, and they get too wrapped into the ride. Yeah, you get it, dude. That's awesome, man. Listen, Matt's your UK hookup. If y'all want to go that way and book, you're part of the family now because you've been on the show. So anytime you have new music coming up, anytime you drop the EP, please send it to us.
Speaking of, we got a video that should be coming by the end of January. That's gonna be our first single. It's called Diverge Collide. And that's kind of like about the struggle of what it's like being neurodivergent, and a lot of times your brain's fighting itself. So that video is really wild. I'm gonna let James talk about the video because he inspired a lot of it, and he's got good vision for the video.
You guys will see it here. I think you'll see it better than
that's
me.
What I was gonna say. Either let us debut it.
Absolutely,
When any band that lets us debut their single, we not only debuted on the show, but we also play it on the hour, every hour, right, Matt? On the station.
Not on the hour, but it'll play once an hour.
I should say.
That's really cool.
The day before release, and then automatically gets added to rotation too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I see your guys' list, and I'm always jealous because I'm like, I want to get on that list. So
hook it up. You're part of the family now, having been on the show. So like we say, anything you got, shoot it our way. We'll get it out there. We'll promote it for you.
Hit me up and I'll get it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I love the frame of mind. Y'all definitely have that. I dig the music. I've heard the single on Spotify. I dig what you're doing. Keep it heavy. Keep it unique. That's always great. Where do we send them? Where are you most active on social? Is it Facebook?
Honestly, any of them is fine. We got Facebook, Insta, TikTok, and YouTube. It's at Oceans End Official for all of it. So really easy.
Perfect.
And like I said,
simple.
I try, man. I try real hard. Because I get it. We all got attention spans of a hamster. So as long as I can just point you in the right spot, I did it tonight. I was out with my parents' friends for dinner, and this lady's like, "Well, how do I find your band?" I'm like, "Oh, just look at this QR code. Go ahead and scan that, and bam." So
there you go. That's the world we live in, sir. That is the world we live in. Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, at Oceans Unofficial, will find us anywhere that you want to be on. And then, like I said, we got merch coming up for sale. So
And drop a link in the comments.
absolutely. Actually, Anne, if Anne wants to grab I think someone dropped our link tree, but that's where the merch will be. There'll be a big button up top that will pop up and say, buy the new merch now. And, but we got a lot of fun stuff. We got 5 different prints that'll be available. And then we will also have throughout, I think we're going to do it quarterly. We'll have some pre-orders drop of like some exclusive runs. I know we're doing a 420 shirt. That'll be fun. And then we have a couple other ones we're going to drop just, occasionally like, hey, one time only, you can pre-order it and get kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Yeah, we're just honestly, we've been jonesing for this because last year I felt like for us was year 0, just kind of like putting everything in place and really like trying hard to like get the legwork done of like, okay, what are we going to sound like? How do we work as a good team? Like, how do we work cohesively? And once we kind of figure all that out, now it's like, cool. As soon as this like hits 2023, like it's on like Donkey Kong. So
there you go. There you go. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a damn good year. So here we go. We got some more people hitting you up. So gentlemen, thank you all for taking your time to jump on here with us tonight. We always love meeting new bands and new music, and we dig what you're doing. So
yes.
Good luck to you.
And I'm so excited. Like I said, we're gonna be in y'all's hood soon. Hopefully Matt Massive is gonna make that happen. So we'll come hang. It'll be fun.
Let us know. Tag us in the shit when you promote the show, and and we'll share it out as well. So thanks for your time, and thanks for doing what you do, man.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.